Morning all, hope you're doing well, hope you're staying safe. It is Monday, September the 8th, 2020. Apologies I've not been on for a good long while, a couple of weeks I think. That's a combination of me travelling out of state, and I've also been mugging up for my drone pilot's licence, which I'm taking the exam for later this week. So apologies, I hope I'll be more consistent in the future. Lots to get through, obviously, with 2 weeks having gone by since the last one, so let's get right to it. So US daily cases, 31,100 on Sunday. That's the lowest since June the 21st. We've got a downward trend, but slowly. It's been slowly since August 22nd, but still downward, so good news there. US deaths on Sunday were recorded at 864. That's the second peak ended. We've had two peaks, the major one and the smaller one ended on August the 4th. It's been going down. It went down a bit, went up a little bit, but it's going down again since August 17th. So again, good news there. US active cases, looking at that again, that peaked on September the 1st, and it was at 2.56 million active cases. We're now down to 2.54 million, and we're kind of going down a little bit, but anything that's going down is good in my eyes. Looking at Florida then, daily cases 2,564 on Sunday. It's been pretty even, between 2,500 3,000 since August 30th. Previous to that, that didn't happen. The average since was about 3,000 on June the 30th, if that makes any sense. Yeah, we haven't had this kind of average since June the 30th, so quite a long time ago. Florida active cases, looking at that now, that's good news as well. The peak was 538,000 on August the 29th. Sunday saw it at 534,000, and there is a definite little downward blip now, so I'm hoping that's not a blip. I'm hoping that's a trend downwards. Obviously, less active cases means less people can give the virus to other people, so good news. Florida deaths, they've been pretty stable since August 25th. September the 5th saw 101 deaths. That was the lowest since July the 18th. So again, we're heading in the right direction, I think, on all of these matrices. Florida ranked number 3 on Sunday behind California and Texas, and Orange County ranked at number 5 behind Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach and Hillsborough. The stats, so I'm going to read this a little bit because there's lots of them. Number of tests have decreased from a peak of about 520,000 to last week being 360,000. That is a definite factor in why we've got lower cases. But if we just look at positivity rate, the peak for the positivity rate was in the weekend in July 20th, where it was almost 19%. Since then it's decreased week on week, and we're now at 5.8%, so that's really good news. And as far as I read it, anything under 10% is a good positive factor, so it means we should get less and less, I hope, going forward. Hospitalizations are down, but hospitalizations to tests are up, and I think that's simply a factor of less tests. Like, hospitalizations are going to happen whether people get tested or not, but if there are going to be lower numbers of tests, then that percentage is going to go up. And then deaths are down as well since the peak of August the 8th. So again, good news across the board. ICU beds, I thought they'd go down. Actually, they haven't. We're now at 1,629 available ICU beds, and that's up about 150 from a couple of weeks ago. So I don't know what's going on there, why there's more hospitalizations. I don't know whether people are getting a little bit blasé about passing it on to maybe more vulnerable people that then are hospitalized, because if we're getting less cases but more like the same number of hospitalizations or ICU beds being used, then that's an issue. The R rate, such good news we had a couple of weeks ago. We were coming down, we were at 0.95, and now we're at 1.02. So again, I don't know whether people are being a little bit, it's going down, everything's getting back to normal, let's kick on and do what we normally do, and then this is kind of helping it spread a little bit more. So 1.02, look, it's not hellish, but I really wish it was back under 1 again. And then looking at the chart for the states, it's not just Florida that's gone back up, a number of states have gone back up. We were at 31 states under 1. That number's now at 20, unfortunately. So other states have got this idea that everything's getting back to normal as well, it would appear. Florida ranks now 22, but there are another 14 states where the rate is between 1.01 and 1.05. So it wouldn't take much, in my eyes, to get those states under one, and then we'd again have 34 states under one. So I'm hoping for better news coming. Governor Desantis, Ron DeSantis, has been in the news a little bit. He's actually gone against what President Trump has said about the vaccine. He said it's not a cure-all, and he pointed to the fact that flu vaccines are generally around 50% failure. So he's saying that maybe the vaccine for COVID-19 could be the same kind of failure rate. Governor DeSantis has also written to all 67 counties asking them for their data on what they're doing to manage the spread of the virus. Florida is one of the 17 states that doesn't have a mandatory mask wearing policy. So there's been no news on why he wants this data, whether he's going to look at those counties that have mandatory mask policies, because although Florida doesn't, certain counties do, like Orange, do have mandatory mask policies. So maybe he's going to look at the data from them versus the data from other counties that don't have masks and see if there's any real correlation between the COVID-19 spreading and it not with people wearing masks. And I don't know, I've not researched that, but I'd like to understand what comes of that. The Florida Health Department has ended its relationship with Quest Diagnostics. So Quest Diagnostics is a huge testing laboratory firm, but it decided to dump 75,000 tests out, some of which dated back for 6 months. And as a result of that non-timely information gathering, they've decided to quit with Quest. So I guess that's a good thing. Orange County actually had a challenge this week for its mandatory mask wearing policy. Somebody said that was unconstitutional and challenged them in court. A judge has thrown that out, saying it's not unconstitutional. Good in my eyes, because if that had gone through, then I guess that would set a precedent for everywhere else in Florida, maybe across the states. At Disney's park hours are going to be reduced from tomorrow, and that's through November 21st. Disney's calendar stops at November 21st, so we don't know whether that's going to happen further along, up to Christmas or prior to Christmas. There's been nothing said about Mickey's Very Merry Christmas party, whether that's going to go ahead or not. If I was guessing, I would say it's not right now. Cinderella's Royal Table reopens on September the 25th, but without any guests. Without any characters. Hopefully it will have guests, but no characters. So I'm really not sure why people would want to go to that, only that they want to dine in the castle. That would be the only reason to go to that now. I'd be interested to see what the price of that is as well. Florida residents and annual pass holders are now getting some steep discounts on resort rooms up to December the 25th. I've given a little example of what those rooms might cost for both AP holders and Florida residents, and you can now get into the Grand Floridian for $440 a night. So I've never seen that before. I probably still won't do it because it's still a heck of a lot of money, but for that costing maybe $1,000 a night sometimes, then 440 doesn't sound bad, does it really? Disney's Polynesian Resort was due to reopen next month. It's now going to be closed until summer 2021. The reason is they're now undergoing a major refurbishment. It was announced last week by Disney that there's going to be a Moana theme put in there. So I think there's a much more major refurbishment now going on than there was going to be. And as a result of the Great Hall being refurbished, the monorail will now not stop at the Polynesian Resort from early October. Looking at Disney parks availability, the theme park ticket guest the next 6 days doesn't see full availability. Hollywood Studios is unavailable, and Magic Kingdom for one of those days. After that, everything is green until September 26, 2021. Resort guests are in pretty much the same position except for that day with Magic Kingdom. That's still open. Green then for the days up to September 26, 2021. Annual pass holders, different story usually, and it is this time as well. 3 days are completely full for the remainder of September. 8 days only have full green, and the rest are a bit variable, but Hollywood Studios is not available for any day that's yellow. Into October, all the weekends have at least one park that's unavailable, and that's Hollywood Studios. Halloween now has only Animal Kingdom and Epcot available. November, 4 weekend days are unavailable for Hollywood Studios. The rest are available for all parks. Thanksgiving comes up on November the 26th this year, Thursday, November the 26th. So we can expect that to be a 4-day weekend for a lot of people, and we can expect those resort bookings to fill up and also the park bookings to fill up. So if you're looking at going to Disney parks around Thanksgiving weekend, I would make those reservations sooner rather than later. Into Universal Orlando, Volcano Bay starts to close on Tuesdays and Thursdays from tomorrow, and that's through at least October 31st. We don't know if it's going to happen further than October 31st because the calendar doesn't go past October 31st, so that's due to low demand. Almost 1,300 workers at Universal Orlando's hotels are going to be furloughed permanently. That's really bad news for them, but some of those hotels haven't opened since coronavirus, since the hotels reopened after coronavirus. SeaWorld is also laying off some people, but it hasn't said how many. They have said that it's going to cost them between $2.5 and $3 million to do so. And despite this, all of Disney's parks were blocked out this weekend on Saturday, no reservations at all, and all three of Universal Orlando's parks reached capacity on Saturday. So that's the first time that's happened since COVID-19 has meant that the parks reopened. So I guess that's good news, right? If people are coming back to the parks, hopefully hotels will reopen and people will get back to work. I know it was only one day and one swallow doesn't make a summer, but it's a start. And both Universal Orlando and Disney have got some deep incentives for people to come back to the parks. But it looks like, at least for that one day, that's working. So let's hope that continues in that vein. Okay, they are the headlines. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you'll get the news at least once a week. And I'll try and get some park stuff in between times. If you like the video, please give it a like. The algorithm likes the likes, and it'll throw the video out to more people, and they'll get to see it as well, and maybe they'll subscribe. Okay, let's get to the news. The number of cases recorded in the US on Sunday was 31,110. That's the lowest since July the 21st. There's a downward trend, but slowly since August the 22nd. The number of deaths across the US on Sunday was recorded at 864. The second peak ended on August the 4th and started going up again, but has now been trending down since August the 17th. The number of active COVID-19 cases in the US peaked on September the 1st at 2.56 million. As of Sunday, it was 2.54 million. The number of new cases in Florida on Sunday was 2,564. It's been pretty stable around 3,000 since August the 30th. Previous to that, the average was around 3,000 on June the 30th. The number of deaths recorded daily in Florida has been pretty stable since August the 25th. On September the 5th, 101 deaths were recorded. That's the lowest since July the 18th. The number of active cases in Florida peaked at 538,114 on August the 29th. On Sunday, that was 534,887 active cases, so trending down slightly. With our 2,564 cases on Sunday, Florida ranked third behind California and Texas. Orange County in Florida reported 108 new cases on Sunday, behind Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach and Hillsborough. The stats then, and we should be looking at those week endings at the bottom of the chart in bold red. The number of tests have decreased from a peak of over 520,000 to last week being 360,000. That is a definite factor in lower case numbers, but our focus should be on the positive rate. It peaked at almost 19% in weekend in July the 20th. Since then it's decreased week on week, and last week it was 5.76%. I read that anything under 10% is good. Hospitalizations are also down, but hospitalizations to tests are up. This looks like it's just a factor of fewer tests. Deaths are also down since the peak on weekend in August the 3rd. The number of available ICU beds across the whole of Florida was 1,385 for adults, 244 for pediatrics, and that's 1,629 overall. That's about 150 less than it was a couple of weeks ago. The effective reproduction rate in Florida has unfortunately gone back up over 1, and it's now 1.02. We did get down to 0.95 in August. Last time we looked at this chart, there were 31 states in the green or under 1. There are now only 20 states at 1 or less. There are another 14 states with an effective reproduction rate of 1.05 to 1.01, and Florida currently ranks number 22. At a press conference this week, Florida Governor Ron Desantis tempered people's expectations on a vaccine. He said that a vaccine won't end the pandemic and that flu vaccines are only sometimes 50% effective. Also this week, Governor Ron DeSantis wrote to all 67 Florida counties asking them to tell him what measures they are taking against COVID-19. It's not known what the reason is for the letter. Florida is still one of 17 states which doesn't have a mask mandate. The state of Florida Health Department has cut ties with Quest Diagnostics after it failed to submit 75,000 COVID-19 tests on time. Some of the tests date back till April 2020 and led to an increase in the positivity rate reported on Tuesday. In Orange County this week, Circuit Court Judge Lisa Munyon has rejected a challenge to the constitutionality of Jerry Demings, the Mayor of Orange County's executive order requiring residents to wear a face mask in public. According to the judge, residents' constitutional rights are not violated by being asked to wear a face covering. Mayor Demings said after the verdict, the safety, health and welfare of all residents continue to be our number one priority here in Orange County. Disney is now showing reduced hours in all its parks through November 21st. Magic Kingdom will be open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m, Epcot 11 a.m. to 7 p.m, Hollywood Studios 10 o'clock to 7 p.m, and Animal Kingdom 9 o'clock to 5 p.m. Disney Springs will still be open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party isn't showing yet in the calendar, and there's been no announcement as to whether this will go ahead or will be cancelled. Cinderella's Royal Table in the Magic Kingdom starts again on September the 24th. Reservations will be available from September the 11th, but there will be no character meet and greets. Disney is providing some great resort discounts for Florida residents at the moment and up to December the 25th, 2020. Florida residents receive a 25% discount on value hotels, 30% on moderate resorts, and 35% on deluxe resorts and deluxe villas. Here you can see a night at the Grand Floridian will set you back $486 and the Contemporary $377. This is for a dummy booking made in early October 2020. For annual pass holders, there's the same kind of deal going, but they are actually better. Value resort hotels can save up to 30%, moderate resorts 35%, and deluxe resorts and deluxe villas 40%. In early October, a night at the Grand Floridian will be $449, while the Contemporary Resort will be $348. Disney's Polynesian Resort, which was supposed to reopen in October 2020, will now remain closed until summer 2021. No exact date has been given, but here's the announcement from Disney. This probably has everything to do with it being rethemed into a more Moana feel, which was revealed this week by Disney. Due to the refurbishment of the Great Hall at the Polynesian Resort, the monorail will cease to stop there from early October 2020. Looking then at the Disney Park availability calendar and theme park ticket guests, the next 6 days sees Hollywood Studios unavailable to single-day ticket holders, and also on the 12th, Magic Kingdom is unavailable. From the 14th of September right the way up to September 26, 2021, every day is available for single ticket holders. It's a very similar picture for Disney Resort guests, except that Magic Kingdom is available on the 12th. From the 14th right the way through to September 26, 2021, all days and all parks are available for resort guests. For annual pass holders in September, there are already 2 days sold out completely, and there are 7 weekdays where all parks are available. Other than that, those yellow days usually mean that Disney's Hollywood Studios are unavailable, and maybe other parks as well. Into October for annual pass holders, and Disney's Hollywood Studios has no availability on the weekends. The only park that does is Epcot, which is available every day. On Halloween, the 31st of October, Hollywood Studios and Magic Kingdom are now unavailable. For November, for annual pass holders, there's just 4 days that Hollywood Studios is unavailable at the weekends. Every other park is available all day, every day for November 2020. One point to note is that Thanksgiving this year is on Thursday the 26th of November, so it's likely that the 26th, 27th, 28th and 29th will become busy. For the first time since the parks reopened after COVID, both Universal Orlando and Disney's parks reached full capacity on Saturday. Both Universal and Disney are offering heavy incentives for people to come back to the parks. At Universal Orlando, Volcano Bay will be closed every Tuesday and Thursday up to the end of October. Universal Orlando's calendar currently doesn't go beyond October 31st. This comes in the same week as Universal Orlando announced that it was laying off permanently or indefinitely furloughing almost 1,300 workers. These layoffs are not at the parks, but are at the Royal Pacific Resort, the Sapphire Falls Resort, the Aventura, and the Endless Summer Resort. Also this week, SeaWorld Orlando has said it's going to permanently terminate some of its furloughed workers. No numbers were given, but he says as a result, the company expects to record approximately $2.5 to $3 million of restructuring and related charges in the third quarter of 2020 related to employee severance costs. Okay, what I didn't say in the headlines, but what you did see in the news section, is that they're talking about an air bridge. Now, I don't know what the legitimacy is of this talk. It could be just paper talk, could be rubbish actually. I don't know how they're going to get a bridge from New York to London, from JFK to London Heathrow, and then expect people to just stay in those areas. It's not going to happen. Everybody will go to London Heathrow, take a flight to New York and come to wherever they want to in America, wherever that may be, and some of the R rates are still up in the 1.2s, 1.3s. So there are still hotspots, major hotspots. Orlando or Florida is still regarded as such just because of the number of cases. But New York is going down quite a lot, but I just don't get it. The UK now is going back up in the number of cases per day. It seems to have, since lockdown has ended, that seems to have been going the same way as America did when its lockdown kind of ended. So I don't think that's going to really work, and I still don't see anything coming this year. We've got the election in the US happening on November the 3rd. I definitely don't see anything happening before then. If Biden wins, there's going to be some stock taking as to how the coronavirus is going to be dealt with, so I don't see anything for the rest of the year. Even if Trump wins, again, I don't believe anything will happen this year, but it might happen a little earlier than if Biden wins. His inauguration won't happen until I think January the 20th if he becomes president. So we could be looking at maybe February, maybe March before anything happens with him. But look, it's good news. Since I was last in this seat, cases do seem to have subsided a bit, both across the states and in Florida. Hospitalizations are going down, deaths are going down, the positivity rate in Florida is definitely going down. So it's all good news, and I'm just hoping that we can just stay on this kind of track. And even if it's only going down bit by bit, that's good news. Definitely with the number of active cases now hopefully reaching a peak, less people have the virus, less people can give the virus. So let's just all hope it stays like that. Okay, that is it for me today. I'll see you probably next Saturday with some more news, maybe next Sunday, and we'll see how it goes in the next week. Have a great week, everybody. Stay safe. Take care. Cheers for now. Bye-bye.